afternoon to the one that are connected from Europe. We have here David McNamara from Plastic Energy Company and Giovanni Armando of LVIA ONG, the Italian ONG. In this moment, you are also waiting for the third speaker. There is Juan Carlos Seguro. That, in any case, is coming from the same city we are, Medellin, but he's late in this moment. I think he will join us with an electrical bicycle made by plastic waste, and so I don't know. Probably there's traffic for bicycles now. We can start this Plastic Second Life Smart Waste to Reuse Plastic Waste web conference. This is a conference organized by Low Carbon City Forum. Low Carbon City Forum is an network organization based in Colombia. This network has the aim to involve citizens and public administration to the climate change issue, and they organize events, they organize activities, they organize like a conference like this, and also forums and other activities to involve people in the climate change issue, the carbon emission issue. And our web conference, of course, is related to this topic because plastic now account for 1% of the global carbon emission, and we're recycling plastic waste, we can get lower of a 30% account. So we can start now. I don't want to present the speakers. I want them present themselves, speaking about their projects and a little bit about themselves. And I just want to say to everyone who is following us in YouTube that they can tweet questions or everything to the Twitter page. There is hashtag #lowcarbon_city. And in the Twitter page of Low Carbon City, there is the new Hangout link, yes, to follow the discussion. In any case, the discussion will be registered and it will rest in the YouTube page, and so we can also see and listen after we finish here. We will stay there. I think in the official page of Low Carbon City there will be the link of the entire conversation. Yes, so we can start, and we start with David McNamara. David is working for Plastic Energy, and he can start introducing himself, and so I leave the word to him.
Okay.
Hello, David.
Okay, thank you, Alessandro. Yes, I'm David McNamara. I'm the Chief Technology Officer for Plastic Energy. I've been involved in pyrolysis, chemical recycling of plastics now for 10 years. Working with now the business arm of Plastic Energy, and we have a number of projects in mainland Spain, in the southeast of Spain, and also in Sevilla. And we are just about to begin our first sustainability project in the Canary Islands in Tenerife. We have plans for summer of this year to hopefully begin a project in South America, and we are really focused on taking plastics that are not recycled, not mechanically recycled, or easily mechanically recycled. So dirty plastic that is normally discarded. So plastic that normally ends up in the landfill or is not recycled or is incinerated. That's the plastic that we focus on. So that is our main focus in trying to reduce the problem of plastic waste.
Okay, thank you so much. Giovanni, Armando, I ask you to do, as well as David, in this time a short presentation about the LVIA project, and then we can start with a question. Giovanni, are you online? I don't see him. It was, yes. No. Giovanni? Potrei passarmi il cellulare? No. So I don't know why, but Giovanni is gone out. Probably there is some technical problem, and we can wait for him a little while. And just writing a message. I don't know why he's going out. So in any case, I just want to go on with David. In the meantime, I read a lot about your project. You were before to be part of Plastic Energy. You were involved in the we can say plastic industry in general. You were a venture capitalist and you were involved in different projects. But I don't know exactly what did you do before. But I know that you just invested and worked in innovation in plastic waste, isn't it?
Yeah, I've predominantly worked in the innovation field for plastic. I was involved in some mechanical recycling projects prior to being involved with the chemical recycling of plastics. I'm a polymer chemist
Okay.
by education, and that's something that I had a sincere interest in, is how we could tackle the plastics that were being discarded and that weren't being recycled. So we could really see that there was lots of advancement in the mechanical recycling of bottles and harder plastics, but there was a big problem with the lighter plastics, the polythenes, the low density polythenes that we see caught up in beaches or in the landscape, get caught up in trees and so on. Those plastics are quite often discarded, and they're discarded by recycling companies because they cannot economically make use of them. So we took pyrolysis, which has been around for a very long time, and over the years have developed a process that was automated and that met European standards, not only on control and automation, but also on emissions and so on. And we've developed a technology now that we can take to market to various places in the world that can be located. They're small enough to be located in the vicinity of cities that are trying to deal with the plastic waste that they have. But they're large enough to be able to deal with the volumes that are being produced. So
Yes.
we process a minimum of 6,500 tons a year, and really we're moving towards a larger scale now, 8,500 to 9,000 tons a year.
Yes, about what you said about the amount of the plastic you're using, I just want to remind that every year we in a global level we are producing something like 320 million tons of plastic. In this case, all the post-consumer plastic can have, we can say, a second life. Now in this hangout, we are talking about the recycling use or the energy recovery use. Plastic energy can be just yeah, the second example is just an energy recovery company, because you produce liquid fuels from plastic waste, and in different cases there is recycling. For example, LVIA and Ecomuévete, the other two speakers, are involved in the pure recycling process. And in this case, recycling is accounting of 30% of the whole post-consumer plastic waste. Energy recovery accounts for 40%, and the landfill right now are accounting for 30%. I'm speaking about because the worldwide situation is in US, for example, they use to recycle plastic waste, but only for 9%. Differently from Europe, there is 30%. And energy recovery here, for example, David, you can also, I don't know exactly what is the market of energy recovery in Europe and in the world, but I know that energy recovery and recycling are going up So in the next year, probably we will have an account, a bigger account, bigger than the 30 and the 40 we have now. And then in landfills, we will be lower than 30%. So we are going in a very, very good chart, in a very good perspective for plastic waste. So before to speak about the market, the industry, and the possibilities we have as producer of plastic waste or of the energy starting from plastic waste, I just want to ask to Giovanni that I'm so glad to see again here. Probably he solves the problem with connection. And so Giovanni,
I lost you. Alessandro?
So we can start with you with the same question. If you can to speak about the LVIA project, are you working on it? And what do you do in Africa with plastic waste? Giovanni? No. I can't hear you. No. No. Okay. Sorry. we have lots of problems right now with this connection. Yes, he's informing me that he went off another time. So David, I will come back to you. So speaking about what's the topic, that now in Europe we are using post-consumer plastic for a 40% amount. I was so surprised about it because I thought that was the amount of recycling was higher, but for me it was a surprise to know that the energy recovery sector is bigger. Can you explain us how does this market work? Who are your customers? What are you producing exactly? Is it like the traditional fuel, or is it something different? Everyone can use it, or please explain us.
Yeah, well, the business has changed over the years that we've been involved in the technology and the concept of chemical recycling. Previously, a lot of focus for us was on commodity fuels, diesels and kerosenes and gasolines. We've been able to develop the product that we produce so that we can tailor that somewhat to the client's needs. Something that's been very much a focus for our company over the last 18 months, maybe 2 years, is how we tailor our process now to provide a feedstock to some of the petrochem and some of the resin manufacturers to provide a source of material for them to produce plastic again. So as part of that circular economy, so similar to maybe Giovanni's work and some of the other work that others are doing in the world, is we're looking to try and reduce that plastic cycle. So rather than necessarily consume that plastic waste as a fuel by using it to produce energy or use in various transportation vehicles, there is also a development section in the business now where if that feedstock can be used, as I say, to produce plastic again, then we can contribute to the reduction in the volumes of plastics that are being used or being produced, should I say, and in that case polluting the environment.
Okay, so clear. Thank you. I will go deep on this topic, but right now I just want to present Juan Carlos. Hola. Muchas gracias. Juan Carlos Seguro is the founder of the company called Ecomuévete Seguro. They produce bicycles starting from plastic waste. Today, he will be here with us, but he doesn't speak English, so there is our friend Amina that is translating for him, and we can just start just asking him about his project, how long they are producing bicycle, what they do exactly, and I just let you translate, and then.
¿Puedes, por favor, presentar tu proyecto y decir cuándo has empezado a hacerlo, por favor?
Muy buenos días. Mi nombre es Juan Carlos.
Hi, my name is Juan Carlos Seguro.
Soy el representante legal de Comuévete Seguro.
I'm the representative of
Conmuévete Seguro.
Ecomueve Seguro.
Nosotros empezamos haciendo campañas de reciclas acá en la ciudad de Medellín con el envase ámbar.
Okay, so in Medellin we are trying to make campaign to promote the recycling with a project named Ambar.
Estas botellas acá en la ciudad nadie las quería reciclar, nadie las quería comprar.
There are bottles, but no one wanted to recycle those bottles named Ambar here, so they did it.
Nosotros nos enfocamos en reciclar ese material porque vimos que con estos marcos podíamos solucionar esta problemática a muchas empresas y nos vieron como con el tema de responsabilidad social empresarial.
Okay, so they wanted to try to recycle those products that no one wanted because they think they can do a lot with that, and they wanted to fix that, to find a solution for that problem, and then they can do a lot of stuff with the non-wanted products they use.
Hicimos la primera campaña con esta empresa de Bavaria, que con los envases de Ponimalta, ellos nos donaron el plástico de ámbar y nosotros lo devolvimos en bicicletas ya ensambladas. Por primera vez.
So they use those bottles to do bicycles, basically, and they tried first to use these bottles named Ambar.
Ok. So, muchas gracias. Ahora solo para presentarnos y después vamos a hablar en el detalle de lo que hace. Okay. Right now, if Giovanni is hearing us, I hope so. We can speak about LVIA.
Okay, thank you, Alessandro. Thank you, everybody. I'm not sure that the connection will go on. It's very bad. So I try to say something very short. So I've been working with LVIA. LVIA, it's an NGO, an Italian NGO, in Senegal since 1999. And not in a continuous way, because I was also in other countries, and I was also in Italy for some years. But actually, right now I am again in Dakar, in Senegal, and I'm following our project in all West Africa. And when I came the first time in Senegal, it was a year that our ProPlast center opened. What is ProPlast? ProPlast is a social enterprise that we created at the end of the 90s to help some women, a group of women in Thiès, in the periphery of Thiès, a big town in Senegal.
We lost him. No. Yes, we lost him. But yes, I'm so I don't know how to do, but probably we can go on. But basically, we understood while just a little bit what LVIA did. Basically, I can add something because I worked with them for 3 months in this Dakar ProPlast project. I am a logistic engineer, and so I just contributed with just the logistic program to collect plastic waste in this big city in Dakar. When Giovanni will join us again, we will talk with him another time. We will go deep with this project and what they do. Here, Juan Carlos brought us a surprise. Then we will show to our audience. And in this moment, yes, probably we can go on with David, and then we will prepare the surprise. We can show the surprise later. And David, just another thing. about the liquid fuel you produce, you are producing right now. I just keep in contact with you because just analyzing, reading something in papers in online, I discovered your project because of on the waste of wings. On the wings of waste.
Yes.
Sorry.
Yes,
There's the project that there is just something like an airplane that flight for 500 miles.
Yes. Yes.
I don't know if I'm incorrect. Yes, in Australia, from Melbourne to Sydney, if I'm not getting wrong. And this flight was completely fueled by your liquid fuel produced by plastic waste, isn't it? Is it right?
No, we supplied 10%. So we called it a 10% solution. So when we were considering the project, because of the amount of fuels that we produce and the amount of fuel that the aviation industry uses today, we felt in terms of demonstrating what we thought would be a practical and realistic opportunity in terms of using fuels that have been produced from alternative sources such as plastics, we felt that a figure of around a 10% use of our fuel blended with a standard kerosene for the project would make more sense for the public when we were trying to explain how we could benefit as a group and participate in trying to reduce the amount of fuel that is used just from fossil sources. So it was a 10% solution, but it was still a very good project. We enjoyed it.
Yes, I wrote that it was 10%, but I just wondered if this percentage could be higher in time. I mean, if this traditional fuels can be completely substituted by the liquid fuels you produce. It's just something utopic. It's just something you can get. Just something. There is some technical constraint. What's happening? Why it's only a so small amount? And
there is
possibility to grow with this amount of alternative fuel.
Yeah. Well, as you can imagine, with kerosene or fuel that is being used to power planes, there is a lot of stringent specifications that you need to adhere to, and some of the fluctuations in feedstock that we process sometimes can make that somewhat of a challenge. If we were producing fuels on a much larger scale, some of the additional refining and some of the other work that jet fuel manufacturers, some of those processes that they add in to ensure the quality and ensure that they meet the specification every single litre that is produced would make more sense. But currently, on the size of the facilities that we have, some of the additional treatment would not make economical sense. So it was safer for us to be well below any boundary that we felt we would be on specifications. We could have blended more of our fuel, but we decided that at 10% it made sense in terms of the numbers and what the message that we were trying to send out.
That's okay, so clear. Thank you so much, David. Now we come back to Juan Carlos. ¿Puedes mostrarnos lo que traíste aquí en la cámara? So I just asked him to show us the surprise he brought. And how I said before, Juan Carlos is the legal representative of the Ecomuévete Seguro company. There is based here in Medellin, in Colombia. There is the city where we are living now. We are connecting from. This is the surprise he brought, and it's basically the bicycle. One example of the bicycle they produce 100% from plastic waste, and now he will explain us about technically how they produce it, the production, the use they do, and yes, now we are waiting that you sit here with the microphone. They will explain. Muchas gracias. Ahora te pongo. Okay, si quieres puedes.
En este proceso del marco estamos eliminando la pintura, la soldadura
Okay, so they get out all the paintings and all the non-necessary things from the bottles they used to build the bicycles.
Estos marcos se diseñaron a la estructura ósea del cuerpo humano. Cuando uno se desplaza en ella, todos los impactos del suelo los absorbe el marco plástico, más no el cuerpo de uno. Los marcos son biodegradables porque tienen polímeros de maíz por dentro.
Okay, so they use some natural resources as well, like from corn. See, to make the bicycles, like plastic and some resources from corn.
Estos marcos se pueden ensamblar a partir del RIM 20 para un niño y siempre va a tener el mismo marco. En la medida que crezca, le va a cambiar las llantas.
Okay, so there are different processes if it's for a kid or for an adult. Okay. Alessandro?
Yes.
Ecomuévete, con las campañas de reciclaje, está haciendo tejido social.
Sorry? Oh, okay. Sí, Ecomuévete is doing what? Sorry?
Está haciendo tejido social con diferentes escuelas y colegios.
Okay, so they work with children, and Ecomuévete Seguro, the brands are built to foster recycling and building bicycles, thanks to and like plastic waste are involved to like with some schools to foster recycling with children, and they build some bicycles from kids.
So it's just a question. Just a question from Juan Carlos. Is it really 100% every part? I see, like, I don't know, wheels, all the structure. It's 100% from plastic waste or just a part?
Solo el marco está hecho con 200 botellas de PET.
¿Cuántas?
200 botellas de PET.
Okay, so the structure, what you can see here, is like 100% recycled, and it's made with 200 bottles. ¿Y las ruedas?
No.
But the other parts, like these, for example, are not made with recycled products.
Los guardabarros.
Uh-huh.
Sí, los guardabarros. Estamos trabajando para sacar el manubrio y los pedales y los rines para hacerlos en teflón, en aspas.
Okay, so for some parts, they have to buy or to build some stuff, like some parts without recycled products, but they are working on how to do more with recycled products. Like, for example, yeah, the other parts like those, or the pedal, and part of the wheels as well.
Son eléctricas, tienen una autonomía de 50 kilómetros por carga.
Oh, okay. The bicycles are electric, and they have a battery for 50 kilometers.
Estas bicicletas, si uno hace la conversión en lo que se gasta en energía para cargarlo, a lo que se gasta uno en pasajes acá en la ciudad, hace uno el recorrido urbano por 420 pesos.
Okay, so if you translate what you can save thanks to the bicycle from all the tickets you have to buy for subway and stuff like that in the city of Medellin, it would be around 400 pesos.
420 pesos.
Like 420 pesos, which is in euro like 130 euro.
El pasaje en bus está en 2.500.
¿Pero para cuánto tiempo?
Me dura 3 días la carga. Para 3 días.
Okay. Okay, so you can save a lot of money thanks to those bicycles, as are all recycled. Like, not all recycled, but like all the structures, so the main parts are recycled.
Tiene puerto USB para cargar el celular. Si me quedo sin batería en el desplazamiento.
Puedes mostrarlo, por favor. And you have like a USB station, and you can like charge your phone on it here, and it's produced by your efforts, basically, like the body energy, and you can like charge your phone like that in that part.
Y empiezo a generar carga con mis propios pedales.
Okay.
Tiene.
So we go on later. Podemos cambiarlo. We go on later speaking about the economics beside this bicycle, because I'm very interested in it. Also because this is an electric bicycle, and we will speak with him, yes, about economics and other facts, other data about this bicycle. But now I would just want to go back to Giovanni, if he can hear us now. I just want to inform him that we heard correctly everything about the LVIA presentation he did about the project in Dakar, and there is also replicated in other countries. And I just want to ask to Giovanni about the social impact these projects have to society. For example, to the Senegal zone where they are, where they collect plastic. How do they react? There is something that changes. There is, I don't know, probably a lower amount of plastic waste in the city, and people are involved in there are, I don't know, probably there are working people from the zone. Can you speak about the social impact of this project?
Okay. Yes. Well, the first social impact. I think that ProPlast something like 200 people that are working for ProPlast. Someone are just daily worker, but there are a large number of new job created. I can say that there are at least 50-60 jobs created in this last years. This is the first, maybe most important impact, because in a very poor neighborhood of Thiès, and this was our goal at the beginning. It was from one side it was for collecting and recycling plastic, but also maybe mainly for creating jobs. So I think we on this kind of, from this side, the goal was attempted. I don't know if now people changed about plastic management, plastic recycling. It's important for you to know that ProPlast buy plastic from people. So people are interested in because they can earn something. It's not very much, but it's enough for them. Motivated to collect and to bring plastic to the ProPlast. Senegal government adopted a new law that forbids plastic bags, small, thin plastic bags. It's a real danger and the real, if we talk about plastic. So the situation is better than 10 years ago, when Alessandro was in Senegal, or in the past, because there are less plastic in the environment in the cities, but this is mostly related to this new law. I think led to a change of behavior of people. We do a lot of education in school to try to change behavior in beginning from children, because we think that for old people it's too late to change, but our hope is that the new generation can change and have more respect to their environment.
Thank you,
So,
Giovanni. Just a little question. If 56 people working in your project, you are referring to all the Africa project, not only the Senegal ones. Is it correct?
No, I was speaking just about the Senegal projects. Okay.
In the ProPlast. Perfect. Because
okay,
I remember
ProPlast.
10 years ago was smaller, and probably now you get bigger with this project, as you said before, with also cultural programs with the schools, with the children.
Yeah. Now, NASA ProPlast is really different from what you remember. It became a big society, a big company, and it's developing a network of people that work for them to collect plastics in Dakar, in Thiès, in other countries, in other towns. And ProPlast is recognized by the government as the leader in plastic recycling in Senegal. I must say that the success of ProPlast began after LVA left ProPlast, because NGO approach is more assistential maybe, but we were not able to develop ProPlast. And when we left ProPlast in 2010, and other people came to help us in manage ProPlast, things went better and better, and now it's a private company that recycle and totally independent and
yes, I'm so happy about this. Because yes, it's very important.
yeah.
It's recognize that you're doing a good job. And then Giovanni, we will come back to you speaking about the whole plastic project you have in the world, and about your plans for the future. For now, I just switch to David because I really want to know about you just before told something about your project to go on with new facilities in the world, and just want to know if you will continue just producing what you are doing now, just getting bigger amount of the final product with the new facilities. Where will you create these facilities? And most of all, I just want to know who are your customer in this case. I mean, I know that you told about how do you get supplier of this, how do you produce, but who is your main customer in this case?
Our main customer is a large petrochem company in Spain, and we normally our contracts are normally with the petrochemical companies, because they working with them, they have an opportunity to use our outputs in different ways depending on the market conditions at the particular time. So in Spain, for instance, we focus very much on commodity fuels, but we're working very closely with a petrochemical company to do other things with our output. And as I said, to look at different ways of perhaps producing plastics. The interesting thing about chemical recycling is, as opposed to necessarily mechanical recycling, is you can change the properties of the product. So you can be chemically recycling low density polythene or a high density polythene or polypropylene, but then you can be manufacturing a different resin depending on the output requirements. So it provides quite a lot of opportunity for the petrochemical companies to use our output in different ways. So that's why we try and tailor for those uses rather than and for the quantities that we produce, rather than necessarily selling to the public or to local councils. The logistics involved are much more straightforward for us as a company on the volumes and so on that are being produced.
Yes, I can imagine. I can imagine. It's very interesting. And we can switch a little bit to Juan Carlos, just to ask to him about the price of this, for example, this bicycle, and if it's possible to buy it everywhere in the world, or its market is only in Colombia, and what else?
Okay, ¿cuánto vale por favor la bicicleta? Y sobre todo, ¿se puede solo comprar en Colombia o también en otra parte del mundo?
Es un proyecto que está a nivel mundial. Hay muchos países que ya tienen el proyecto a través de la planta de moldes de Brasil, de Vitória, Sao Paulo.
Okay, the project he is building in Colombia exists in a lot of places in the world, and especially in Brazil. ¿Y cuánto vale, por favor?
Tenemos 3 modelos.
And they have 3 different models.
Eco básica.
The basic one.
950,000 pesos.
That, can you translate in euros?
Yes, in pesos, 950,000 pesos. Son 330.
Yeah. So the basic one is like 330 euros.
Están a 1.750.000.
Extensions.
So the second one, like the second model, is a bit more resistant, like, and more sporty, and it costs
600 euros.
Like 600 euros. And the third one?
La ecoeléctrica, desde 2.900.000, ya dependiendo la potencia del motor.
Okay, so the last one is like 1,000 euros, and it's electric. Pero las tres son eléctricas o solo la última?
La última.
Okay, so the 2 first models are not electric, but the last one is electric, and the last one is like 1,000 euros.
Pero a todas se les puede colocar el kit eléctrico.
But it's really easy to put the electric process on it, like even on the 2 first ones, which are not electric when you buy it.
Tenemos kit de 250 watts de potencia, del 250 hasta 1500 watts de potencia.
Okay, so the potential, like the energetic potential of the kit is from 250 kilowatts to 1,050 kilowatts.
Pero estamos solamente implementando el 250 y el 350, que son los que tienen la norma europea. Pero uno puede interactuar en una ciclorruta con una bicicleta estas eléctrica.
Okay, but now they just use 250 and 350 kilowatts because it's a European law. It's like the ones regulated by Europe, because it's too, like 1,050 is too much for a bicycle.
To go in the rutas.
Yeah, to go to the normal road.
For bicycle. Muchas gracias. Thank you so much. And just the last question to everyone. And yes, until to end up this web conference, and we have just 5-10 minutes, and we start with David. I just want to speak about the social involvement, also in your case, of this program. In this case, I just want to speak about the future. Do you think that this kind of economy, this kind of use you do of plastic waste could be just enlarged and concerning also the other stuff, the other kinds of waste, and should be the very big solution of the increasing amount of waste in the world, and everything that this implies, for example, climate change, for example, landfills, for example, the pollution of the seas, of the ocean, where we have 150 million tons of plastic right now, and every year we go on with 8 million more. For example, just a little parenthesis, last month a whale was found dying off coast of Norway with 30 plastic bags in her stomach. And I just want to ask if for you this could be a solution.
Well, we don't claim to be to have all the answers, but we think ourselves and some of the other work that other people are doing, whether it's manufacturing bicycles from plastics or positively collecting plastics and helping economics in people's lives by being able to receive some money for doing that work. But we do think we have a part to play, and there was a film recently which maybe some of the viewers and maybe yourself are aware of, the Ocean Plastics film that was that recently launched, which we were involved in. It's really targeted what was happening in the oceans, and it's not just on a macro scale of large pieces of plastic, but some of the micro pieces of plastic and the damage that that's doing to the plankton, which is so important for life on the planet. We really need to all contribute in a positive way. I think for ourselves, for plastic, if we can demonstrate that the plastics that are difficult to recycle, that are being discarded, if they can be removed from waste so that waste is separated out even further. So a lot of waste is recycled to a point at the moment, and then it is burnt in incineration to generate electricity. One of the projects we have ongoing at the moment is to take that recycling and take that value out of the waste that's going off to be burnt to generate electricity or generate power in incinerators, for instance, and use that and use the plastic that we can extract anyway. And there will be other valuable resources in that residual waste that can still be extracted and then used in a positive way. I think if we use some basic numbers in terms of volumes, if we take the USA, for instance, there is enough there from recycling at the moment for about 600 plastic to fuel or plastic to hydrocarbon plants that could be placed in that country. That would equate to about, I think the figures are around nearly 40,000 jobs directly employed or in the value chain that could support the local environment. And we need to really challenge that. The big problem in the US, for instance, is just how low the cost of landfill is in the United States versus necessarily places in Europe. So really getting the finance and encouraging technologies such as ours within the group that we support in the US can be difficult. But I think there is a change. I think people are looking to really make a difference now and really address the problem, because it has to be addressed, because it's becoming unacceptable, the amount of waste, plastic waste, that there is ending up in the environment and causing such damage.
Yes, I completely agree. Thank you so much, David, for your words. Giovanni, before you were speaking about the the plastic bag, the LHPD. Just to know, every 5 bags of plastics, we produce 1 kilo of carbon. About climate change, this is a very big issue, and I think that LVIA is doing a great job, because in Africa there are lots of emerging economic countries, and so the problem in Europe, we said before that the situation is going on better, because we are just using post-consumer plastic for recycling, for energy recovery. At the landfills are just the 30% right now, but this number is going down. In the emerging countries, like in Africa, we have a lot. The amount. Now, do you listen to me? Can you hear me?
Yes, now, yeah.
Yes, just to say that your job is very important, because in the emerging economies, like in Africa, you have a lot. Probably the cultural approach to the waste is different than from Europe. So probably in the future, this problem will be bigger and bigger than now. What do you do? For example, what are your plans for your future about, I don't know, to open new centers in other countries, in Africa? What do you want to do? Do you want to go on with this project, with this plastic center? Do you want to empower them? Just speak us about the LVIA programs for the future.
Yeah, okay. No, I think now LVIA is not planning to open new centers. We opened in the past 5 or 6 centers in Senegal, in Mauritania, in Guinea, in Mozambique, and Burkina Faso, of course. What we want to do now is most of work of advocacy, in the sense that we want to advocacy and sensibilization, how do you, towards governments, local and national governments, and toward population, to change behavior. So now I think we demonstrated that it's possible to recycle. With respect to 10-15 years ago, now there are many private companies that are interested in recycling, in plastic recycling. So I think that this kind of work for us is something, I think now there are, in many big towns, there are other actors, private actors that are interested in recycling. So what we want to do now is try to have an impact government and the decisional level. So we are very happy that Senegal government has adopted this new law, even if it's not our, well, maybe we did something, but it's not because of us that they adopted this new law. But I think this is very important, and we want to export this new policy to other countries. So we change our approach now. We are not more involved in technical solution or opening new centers, but it's more a political work.
Thank you, Giovanni. And just the last question for Juan Carlos. I just want to ask him if there is something in some ideology starting this project, because I just watched some videos, some interviews, and he always speaks about that to get people be free, to get the society be better with this project. He just had a big ambitions to get better in the place where he live, and also the world.
¿Cuál es la ideología que desarrollan en tu empresa? Como es, ¿qué es tu idea? ¿Qué mundo quieres? ¿Qué quieres? Como que, no sé, qué idea del mundo quieren alcanzar o como, ¿cuál es tu meta?
Nosotros nos hemos enfocado es en crear conciencia en las escuelas a los niños del reciclaje para separar desde el átomo.
Okay, as I said just before, he works with children with, thanks to school, and they like his purpose is to get the children aware of the plastic issue and that the factory can recycle and do a lot of stuff thanks to plastic.
Colocamos recipientes en las escuelas para que ellos lleven los envases que generan en sus casas y los depositen allá y les mostramos cómo les podemos hacer la transformación de todas las botellas en marcos y en bicicletas ya ensambladas para que ellos la utilicen como medio de transporte y la utilicen para ir a la escuela.
Okay, so it's a complete process. Basically, they teach the children how to recycle. So like that, they can recycle at school, but as well at home, and they can bring to school the bottles they recycle at home, and thanks to that program, they can go to school with those bicycles recycled.
Estas bicicletas las entregamos con toda la indumentaria, con el casco, las luces, reflectivos.
So they give to those children everything, even even the helmets and all the stuff like the lights and all the protection for the kids, not only the bicycle.
Y les hacemos seguimiento con la bici escuela para que ellos sean buenos actores en las ciclorrutas y en donde se desplazan.
Perdón, están como protegiendo las rutas para los niños. ¿Eso quiere decir?
Hacen formación para manejar bien.
Okay, and they also teach children how to drive and how to use a bicycle properly, like in a safe way, because like the roads in Colombia are pretty dangerous. Sí.
Y lo que más nosotros les hacemos énfasis es que la utilicen como medio de transporte. Para que crezcan con esa conciencia.
Okay, the goal is to raise those children aware of the different means to cross the city and to how to go from home to school, but in other places as well, by bicycles and not by car, to reduce like the contamination.
Okay. So. Before to say goodbye to everyone, I just want to invite you to a very big opportunity in Villahermosa, Mexico. There is the World Low Carbon Forum. This is an invitation, just I say to our panelists, but also everyone is following us on YouTube and will watch this video because Low Carbon City every year organizes a big forum in the world. This year will be in Villahermosa, Mexico, the 6th, 7th, 8th September of 2017, and more information you can get in the website www.lowcarbon.city. In general, just some words before, just to know more Low Carbon City organization and the three aims they have. They have three main objectives. Educate and communicate on a climate-friendly life through creative and artistic activities. Second, they connect citizens with experts, champions, and all stakeholders to exchange knowledge, as we are doing now, in a non-academic way through partnerships, learning experience, technical cooperation, and networking. And the third objective they have is with the local communities, creating tools for advocacy at political and citizen level. Everything we are speaking, we are telling now about these objectives is related with we told in this hour with David, with Giovanni, with Juan Carlos, and I hope that this meeting will be helpful to I think to involve more people on doing on separate rubbish, on separate waste, on like to see the plastic waste as an opportunity to understand that before plastic in the post-consumer phase, there are lots of opportunities, lots of markets, industries, lots of potential things, potential markets. And the second message is, of course, for the public administration, because as Giovanni said before, the government of countries, the government at every level is very important to go on with a positive approach to the plastic project, to inform people and to just support this kind of projects like yours. And this is just the last thing I wanted to say. And I don't know if someone of you want to add something to our discussion. I don't know, it's Giovanni, David, or Juan Carlos, if quieres decir algo más. Si no, okay, if not, we just, sorry, okay, we just say thank you so much to David McNamara of Plastic Energy, and for other questions, other information, everyone can join them in their website, just to ask, just for some curiosity, and I don't know, everything. Giovanni, also thank you so much to you. I was just worried about the connection problem we had, but finally we solved. And now, yes, everything was so clear. And thank you a lot also for the job you're doing as LVIA. And so, nothing. LVIA is a big ONG, as of course a web page, and you can ask everything to them. And lo mismo tú, Juan Carlos, muchas gracias para participar en este encuentro. And